As we all know, there are two important things to bear in mind about those organizations. Those are the same organizations that said that we should join the single currency at the beginning of this century. They were wrong then, and they're wrong now. And the British people are not going to be bullied, cowed, or intimidated by the establishments and the elites telling them what is in their interests, because we are a democracy, and in a democracy, it's not the experts who dictate, it's the people who decide. Now, one of the things that the guys on the Remain side sometimes say is that, okay, you've got your appeal to the emotions, but we've got the hard-headed economic case. Oh, really? Well, tell that to Lance Foreman, one of our most successful business people and one of the growing number of entrepreneurs and business successes who are saying Britain and British businesses would be better off if we voted to leave. And there is, for me, a special poignancy in being here. Lance's business has been hugely successful. But I grew up with the smell of smoked fish in my nostrils every week. My father had a fish business in Aberdeen. Now, that business had been built by my grandfather and handed on to my father, and that business was destroyed by the European Union. Their common fisheries policy and the fact that the fish that had been one of Britain's biggest natural resources was pillaged by other countries meant that my dad's business went to the wall. And his experience is now being replicated by young people in Greece and Spain and Portugal and Italy, where you see youth unemployment at 30, 40 and 50%. The European Union is a job-destroying machine, a hope... It's a hope-shredding organization that, as we all know, is responsible for Europe having a lower growth rate than any other continent in the world, apart from Antarctica. The euro literally is forcing our economy to go south. But the economic facts are on our side. We know that if we vote to leave, we can forge new trade deals, we can strip back that regulation, and also we can ensure that we pay people more and lift the burden of taxes that working people face. We can supercharge our economy, and we can only do it if we vote to leave and take back control on June the 23rd. Now, I have a terrible confession to make in this crowd, which is that I am actually very pro-European. In fact, I think almost everyone in this room is pro-European. We love the continent of Europe and its traditions. We're proud of the fact that democracy, which was born in Greece, has taken root in our soil. We love the fact that France, Germany, and the other countries that had terrible past scarred by war are now democracies too. Speaking personally, I was married in France. My wife was brought up in Italy. Her parents still live there. My favorite holiday destination, and this may mark me out as eccentric to some, is Germany. As I said, we are a broad-based movement. And it's because I love Europe, it's because we all love Europe, that we hate what the European Union is doing to Europe. It's because we don't want to see Nazis in the Greek parliament and Greek young people being deprived of an economic future. It's because we don't want to see anti-Semitism on the rise in Hungary. It's because we don't want to see ugly populism growing in France that we want the European Union to reform. And you know what? The only way the European Union will reform is if we send the most powerful signal that it is going in the wrong direction by voting to leave on June the 23rd. And there's one final thing that I want to say. It's because we all believe in democracy that we're here. Now, Britain's achieved great things in the past because it was a democratic nation with democratic institutions. We were the country that ended the slave trade. We were the country that built the National Health Service. We were the country that established a progressive beacon to the world at some of its darkest hours. So we can have, I hope we all have, faith and confidence in our country and in its traditions. But one of the things that this referendum campaign has emphasized and brought out is that actually, even though there is so much to be proud of in this wonderful country, we have let our democracy slip while we've been members of the European Union. Priti and I have seen it as ministers. Boris experienced it as Mayor of London. Everything from the relatively trivial, the number of bananas you're allowed to sell in a bunch, to matters of life and death, how we can generate new cancer-curing drugs, have been affected by the European Union because their clinical trials directive, a piece of bureaucracy which emanated from the heart of the European Union, all of these rules and regulations have been imposed on us without our say, without us being able to choose and to decide. Behind me, there are a list of 5 things that we could do if we were outside the European Union. And they're important things. They're great principles, things in which all of us I know believe. But what matters about them is that we couldn't do those things if, in fact, we can't do those things if we remain in the European Union. We can't use the money that we currently spend on the European Union to pay for improvements in our NHS. We can't control our borders and have a sane and a balanced and a non-racist immigration policy if we stay in the European Union. We can't forge new trade deals with the growing countries of China and India and America if we stay in the European Union. And of course, we can't kick out criminals and keep out terrorists if we stay in the European Union. And, of course, if we stay in the European Union, we cannot cut VAT because it's a tax that the European Union insists, once levied, can never be removed. And now, I'm going to channel, and I hope we all will, our inner Barack Obamas. If we leave the European Union, can we give the NHS millions more every week? Yes, we can. If we leave the European Union, can we create new jobs with new trade deals? Yes, we can. If we leave the European Union, can we have a new, fair, points-based immigration system? Yes, we can. If we leave the European Union, can we deport dangerous foreign criminals? Yes, we can. And if we leave the European Union, can we help the very poorest in our society by making sure that we remove VAT, thank you, remove VAT on domestic fuel and give them a tax cut that will really transform their lives for the better? Yes, we can. Can we, on June the 23rd, take back control and once more be proud of our democracy, liberated from the European Union? Yes, we can.